For the first time in 46 years, the best of the best in the Sports Car Club of America return to the West Coast for the club's annual one-race battle for the title of champion in 27 classes. This year's three-day duel for the medals brings over 400 racers to California's Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca on the stunning Monterey Peninsula. It's time to seriously step up at the 2014 and 51st SCCA National Championship Runoffs.
Formula 500 taken to the track. These are SCCA's ultralights, running bike motors and Rotax two-strokes. Solid rear axles, change drive. You're going to see these cars move around a lot on the racetrack. No aero, all car control in Formula 500.
All right, thank you, Hayward. As the cars come onto the main straightaway to group up behind the safety car, a lot of sticker tires in use, it looks like.
You know what the real story is? Why does this class exist? Because you got speed for money. Right here is the best bang for the buck. Nothing goes faster for even close to the price of these cars. Not only the price of buying one, but the price of running it.
Sure.
And you are flying. It's funny because you'll be in Formula 500 going 10 seconds faster than a guy in some beautiful production car that costs 4 times as much and 10 times as much to run. And I'm not exaggerating those numbers.
No, and you do get a lot of bang for your buck in a lot of classes in SCCA competition.
They're so light that they stop unbelievably well. Lightweight is the best thing you can do for a race car.
Sure.
Colin Chapman of Lotus, one of the legends of race car building, always used to talk in terms of adding lightness.
Yeah.
And that's the key to why these work.
Yeah, absolutely. They remind me a lot of a big go-kart. I think a lot of people would look at that and say that's not too different.
Don't say go-kart, Rick. You know why? Because they are proper race cars.
Sure.
They've got push rod suspension. They're the real deal.
Yeah, I know. But still, the configuration of the car, the lightweight, and the extreme power, puts me in mind of something that fits you like a glove as a driver.
You know what? Even the kart guys don't like being called go-karts. But these are formula cars, racing machines.
Absolutely.
And they are light. They are light like a kart, really. But they have the suspension that makes them a formula car.
The bodywork on the rear end there, you see the pole sitter's car, Brian Novak's car, that kind of flat panel back there, not really a wing, but something to help the air get off the back of the car.
I think they're trying to do whatever they can to take advantage of the air because they're fast enough that it's going to make a difference. And you'll see a big diffuser sticking off the back of the car that's underneath, and it channels the air that's coming out from underneath the car to really create a little bit of kind of a tunnel, a ground effect. Good look on the back of the red one there. That can add grip to the rear. The faster you go, the more grip you got.
All right, field lining up behind the safety car. 20 laps, 40 minutes of competition. If all goes well, we shouldn't come anywhere near the time limit because these are minute 30, minute 33 race cars around Mazda Raceway, Laguna Seca. Novak in the 73, Jorgensen in the 84. The light blue car is Novak, your pole sitter. Jorgensen alongside, out qualifying the field by a couple of seconds relative to everyone else. Wiley McMahon starts third in the 36. Fourth starter is Calvin Stewart in the 77. Then Morales in the 110. Walbrand in the 67 car. Spiring in the 28. Ryan Barth in the 121. Tom Edwards in the 20. Herb Noble in the 44. And then Fred Edwards, shotgun on the field in car number 19. Field out of the final corner, heading out of the front straightaway here at Mazda Raceway, Laguna Seca. We'll see what happens up front. The battle into 1 and 2 ought to be outstanding. Novak and Jorgensen, they start to fan out already, looking for running room, coming up the hill to the green.
It's a late green, too. Kept that field together far down the front straight.
Novak on the inside, down into 2. Looks as though he's got the advantage.
Tight pack, looks like the Blue Angels doing precision flying.
Everybody nice and tidy, but a challenge for second spot now. McMahon in the yellow car trying to get up alongside the outside pole starter. 3 wide momentarily out of turn 3.
Oh, it's a battle right off the bat.
Calvin Stewart in the 77, very much in the mix. That's the white car there, the 36 of Wiley McMahon. That's the yellow machine and the 84 of Jorgensen. Your outside pole sitter, pole qualifier Brian Novak, picked to win this category by our friends at Sports Car Magazine, opening up half a dozen car lengths already.
No, he's looking strong in the first couple of corners. We've got the 2 strokes first and second, the 4 strokes third and fourth.
Battling for position further back in the field is the top 4. head up the hill toward the corkscrew. Then you've got a little gap back to 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. But a good fight back a little further in the action as we watch the battle for second spot. McMahon.
I mean, gearbox to nose piece.
Side by side for position. I like that black and gold paint scheme. Reminds me of the Gold Leaf Team Lotus colors from a long
Colin
time
Chapman.
ago.
And look at the oil dry. That's left over from the GT1 race before. Got to be slippery up in the corkscrew. And down in turn 10. Same
to
thing.
11 here for position. That's the 84. Jorgensen in second spot. The 36 of McMahon right behind him.
He's got a draft.
Up the front straightaway, see if he can use that draft to move into second spot. McMahon on the outside heading toward turn 2.
Jorgensen takes the inside and forces him the long way around.
McMahon has it. See if he can close down and complete the pass. Looks like he's got him on the outside. Not easy to do.
Drifting. And he makes it work. You're right, around the outside. That's a good pass.
So McMahon in that Suzuki, second now. The motorcycle power starting to show well for him.
Yeah, he was all over Jorgensen. He looked like he might be the quicker car. Let's see if he can reel in Novak. Novak running strong and pulling a lead.
Brian Novak, as we've talked about several times this weekend, if he can look in the mirrors and see that fight, he says, okay, thanks, boys. I'm going to use this time to widen my advantage.
It's good when the guys behind you start passing each other.
Well, look at what McMahon is doing here. McMahon, I should say, in that 36, having cleared second spot, taken that position away. He's gapped the third place car.
He's definitely the quicker car. It's up to Calvin Stewart now to try to catch Jorgensen and get that podium position. And so far, it looks like the 4-stroke Suzuki bike motored car is working very well.
Stewart in that F600 Suzuki, the second of the motorcycle engine cars at the front of the field of the Suzuki power plant.
Different body style there on that 4th place car. He's on the low theory, long and low.
Almost looks like a prototype car. The wheels are open, obviously, in the front, but he's got that really wide nose piece.
Yes, it does. And it's probably a good idea with the open wheels to have the bodywork in between the wheels.
The side pods,
The side pods. It reduces the fact that you're going to have the cars jump one over the other, and it's better aerodynamically as well.
Down into turn 2, the 77 of Stewart out of Novi, Michigan.
Got a big diffuser. That's that piece hanging off the back. Doing its best to generate downforce.
Kind of a low piece there, too. Look, he's got the behind the rear wheels. It's got almost like little planes that you don't want to call them there. That diffuser very wide on that car.
They are kind of a ground plane. He's trying to generate downforce off the air underneath the car because that's free. It's very low drag downforce. And any advantage, any time in a race car, right? Another car with more different ideas on that rear diffuser.
Herb Noble, Lance Sparling going for 5th and 6th here.
These F500s have enough power that they need whatever they can to improve the rear grip, get the drive off the corner, and the grip through the fast sweepers like turn 6 where these cars are headed now.
Noble up under the GoPro bridge. That is a Rotax powered entry, kind of a purple paint scheme. Like that car, very pretty race car. Saw it earlier in the paddock. Right behind Noble is Lance Sparling from Beaverton, Oregon. That's another Rotax powered entry, the 28. And then back one more spot to 7th, Jack Walbrand from St. Louis, Missouri, the 67. That's a Rotax powered Scorpion.
I wonder if Herb Noble is part of the Noble Formula V family, including Lisa Noble, the president of SCCA.
Out of Marion, Iowa. Back up front meantime, Brian Novak all by himself out in front, putting lap number 3 on the board.
You can hear that two-stroke just
McMahon
screaming.
at 1.8 seconds back. Yeah, the two-stroke really sings, doesn't it?
And we hear he's not part of, there's no relation. Like the old Jeff Gordon story, no relation to the other Gordons. And he's on his own running here in the Formula 500 class as we look at our leader.
Brian Novak with a couple of gold medals to his credit over the years in SCCA National Runoffs competition. For position a little further back in the field. We'll get you caught up on where your favorites are running. The 20 car being shown right now a little further in the field back 9th. That's Tom Edwards, Ryan Barth in the 121 right there with him.
These guys
and
are
Jeremy
going
Morales
for it.
in the 110. Yeah, absolutely.
They're going for it.
Fred Edwards in the 19 right here. That's the green machine. And the 121 entry, Ryan Barth. Looks like he has gotten around Edwards for 9th spot.
For now.
And nobody giving up. It's still early. We've only got 3 laps on the board out of 20 in Formula 500.
These guys are going for it everywhere in the pack. It's the SCCA runoffs.
Absolutely.
You're giving it all you've got. Just getting here is an accomplishment.
And no question about it. And we've heard several drivers talk about how they've crossed major bucket list items off by being here this weekend, racing at this facility, Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca, and being in the runoffs on the same week of competition. What a cool thing to be able to put on your racing resume. There's the oil dry headed down into the corkscrew. Got to be mindful of that coming in there, that's for sure.
Man, looks like somebody from the last race rolled it all the way down the hill, leaking oil.
Couple of moves from position here. Yeah, we've got a good battle for position here.
Here comes the John Player special.
Yeah, the 20.
That's racing in the back
Absolutely.
of the pack. They're using creative lines. I think these cars are light enough to do that. They can go wherever they want, pretty much.
The 20 car, Tom Edwards, holding on to 9th last time by.
Look at that launch off the corner there.
Yeah, the 71 car doing a great job. The 121 also in the mix, Ryan Barth's machine.
He just really had a shot off of that corner. I wonder if he found a gear he didn't think he had.
That's Barth in the purple and white 121 getting around the 20.
Look how he's come alive all of a sudden.
Yeah, and starting to pull away. So 9th, 10th, and 11th putting on a good show of their own at the back of the field there. Fred Edwards is 8th in that green number 19.
Not afraid to drag a wheel in the dirt either on the exit there.
Nope.
Using all the road and some of that good hard dirt. It's so dry, the dirt is really not that bad when it comes to traction.
36 of Wiley McMahon in 2nd spot.
Well, you can still see the leader.
Yeah, 1.9 seconds behind Brian Novak, who has led all the way so far as we work lap number 5.
Look at his tailpipe sticking up out of the side of the bodywork.
Yeah.
Again, facing the challenges of keeping the cars quiet enough for the extra quiet rules of Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca.
McMahon losing a second to Brian Novak on that lap.
We got a good shot of the 4-stroke noise, that screaming little baby Formula One sound.
Yeah.
Look at him drift that car off the corner. That looks like fun.
McMahon really pushing, trying to get closer to the leader, but he lost a full second. Meantime, Novak puts a wheel off.
Leader's feeling the pressure.
Well, the gap grew that time, so not sure exactly why Novak would feel pressure at this point, as he's pulled a 3-second advantage over 2nd place.
You know what? It's better to be in the mirrors than to not be in the mirrors.
True.
So McMahon is trying to do anything he can to be in sight, keep the leader in sight.
Absolutely.
The two-stroke leading, the 4-stroke in 2nd. It's like the old guard and the new guard here in the F500 class.
Anytime there's a changing of the guard mechanically in a category, it can cause some issues, I think, for some of the competitors initially when you think, my equipment could become outdated. Nobody likes to see that if you own racing cars and equipment. But it's the way the times change. The rules have changed to reflect new technology and new ways of doing things in the sport.
These modern motorcycle engine and transmission packages are just so good.
Yeah.
And they're inexpensive because they get wrecked a lot.
Yeah, you can find them in junkyards, yeah.
Yes, the engine's still good.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it makes a great racing setup. And one factor, though, in the driving style we see from the guys at the front of the field here is that these cars have a live axle. It's a direct drive. There's no differential. So in that way, Rick, they are like a kart.
Yeah.
And they've got to throw them in the corner and lighten up that inside tire. And it's quicker through the corner that way. It's part of why we see him get driven like that.
Race leader continues to be Brian Novak. He added 0.4 of a second to his lead that time by. So if he was concerned that McMahon was reeling him in just a little, McMahon had it at 1.9 seconds a couple of laps ago. Novak pulling away at this moment. 3rd spot belongs to Jeff Jorgensen in the 84. There's the 44 car running back in 5th position behind Calvin Stewart. That's Herb Noble from Marion, Iowa, in that purple paint schemed machine. That wide front piece, that wide nose piece, kind of standard. A lot of cars running things like that to move the air up over those front tires.
Yes, they're trying to create aerodynamic downforce and reduce drag. That's a good idea. You got a splitter up there. That's what we call it on the sedans.
Yep, absolutely. Noble running 5th, 38 seconds off the lead, about 25 seconds behind the 4th place car of Calvin Stewart. 5th, 6th, and 7th in play. Noble, Lance spiraling there in the 28 machine in 6th position. Jack Walbrand in the 67, running in 7th spot out of St. Louis, Missouri. Spiraling out of Beaverton, Oregon. Noble out of Marion, Iowa. One of the cool things, of course, about these SCCA National Championship runoffs, you have drivers from coast to coast and from Canada who come in here to compete. So you're going up against not just drivers from your region. You get the best of the best here trying to win one of these medals.
That's one of the reasons to come to the SCCA runoffs, to test yourself against the best drivers and teams from all over the country. And Herb Noble from Iowa, coming all the way out to Mazda Raceway, has moved up tremendously in this race. He started in the back row, and now he's sitting 5th. He had no time in 2 of the qualifiers. I think Mr. Noble has had one of those tough weeks that a couple guys I've run into where it seems like Murphy's Law has got a cloud over your head. So he's running well in the race, and he's my underdog favorite here to see him finish in great form. He's all the way up to 5th.
Could be in line for the Sunoco Hard Chargers. You mentioned, Randy, from 10th to 5th. That's a pretty impressive run. Novak continuing to gap the field here as we put 7 laps on the board. 3.39 seconds the margin now. Wiley McMahon closing in just a little bit, about 5/10 in that last lap. Good battle here. This is still the fight for 5th, 6th, and 7th between Noble in the 44, Spiraling in the 28, Walbrand in the 67.
They're all 2-strokes. As I can tell by the expansion chambers coming out over the back. See that like a rear gun?
Yep.
Looks like a tail gunner, doesn't it? That's the exhaust system.
Don't give anybody any ideas here as we watch Formula 500 do battle in the SCCA National Championship runoffs. Yeah, that's an old school look to that exhaust.
It's like a James Bond car, isn't it? And the
for position up the short straightaway here, heading towards 6. We'll see what happens. Noble under attack, Spiraling trying to get around him in the 12. Noble gets forced way off.
Oh, I hope he comes out of that
Noble goes
cloud.
around in the dust and dirt over there at the exit of 6. Wow.
That's that dry weather. He's really getting some dust clouds at Mazda Raceway. I hope he's still running.
So move the 28 of Spiraling into the top 5. Walbrand now 6th. And there he is, the 44 of Herb Noble, who started 10th, raced to 5th position, loses it going into 6th. Big spin over there, is able to refire and get going again, but he's lost a ton of track position.
And he's gotten himself real dirty. But fortunately, it looks like he's in good shape. And another advantage of a lightweight car is, number 1, if you do go off, it stops fast. Number 2, you get in the gravel, you just drive right over that. It's like a dune buggy. It doesn't sink down in with those big fat tires and that light weight.
Now, we think of racing tires. A lot of people who may not have driven a race car may not even think about this sometimes, but I know folks watching us probably heavily involved in this sport in a lot of ways. Tires are very thin. Race tires are very thin. Driving over that gravel, I would think you're running a big risk of cutting the tire.
I think it's possible. And crossing the curb and then crossing back over it, you can hurt a tire for sure. These cars perhaps less likely to because of their lightweight. On the other hand, the tires are tiny.
We'll see what happens as we watch the 44 of Noble back up onto the racetrack. We'll see if he's able to continue, clean the tires, and get back up to speed. Probably has lost his opportunity for a top 5 finish. As quick as these cars are, we're working lap number 9 of 20 right now. Novak, McMahon, Jorgensen the top 3. Calvin Stewart in the 77 there in 4th position. That's the white machine. Stewart he was about 14, 15 seconds back of the leader last time by. We'll see what happens here as he comes up the front straightaway to put lap number 9 on the board. And there is, I believe that was the 44 right in front of him there. He came back on the racetrack, has gotten lapped now by the first couple of competitors.
Oh, Rick, I hope I haven't jinxed him by giving him a little thumbs up. It looked like that dark cloud returned, but he's still at it and back out there running good, and there's nothing like 120 mile an hour to dust your car off.
So there's the 4th place car of Stewart, Jorgensen in front of him. That is Jorgensen. In the 84 car, your 3rd place contender. Saw the blue paint scheme in the light there.
Yes.
Thought it was purple for a moment, but that's your 3rd and 4th place contenders, and they are separated by about 1.7 seconds. All right, we are coming up on halfway in the Formula 500 National Championship event here at the SCCA Runoffs 2014. We'll step aside for a moment, come right back with plenty more at Mazda Raceway, Laguna Seca.
The 2014 SCCA National Championship Runoffs are being brought to you in HD by Mazda. Conviction, creativity, courage. This is the Mazda way. And by Hankook, driving emotion.
Some people go to enormous lengths in the name of safety, like the inventor of the flame-resistant racing suit, Bill Simpson. Courageous engineering is also the Mazda way, and why the 2014 Mazda 3 has an available class-exclusive suite of 8 safety features and a top safety rating. Because when it comes to safety, you can never go too far. This is the 2014 Mazda 3. What do you drive?
This is Kenny. Kenny is a dentist, but he races autocross on the weekends. But he's not thinking about his tires right now. Kenny buys all his tires from TireRack.com. Using their exclusive test track reviews, he knows he's always getting the right tires for his car. But Kenny's not thinking about tires right now. Kenny's thinking, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. This is awesome. TireRack.com, proud sponsor of the Tire Rack SCCA National Solo Program.
Machines and their manufacturers span the planet. This is no spec series. Diversity breeds excellence and brings battle. Ride with the best and test the iconic circuits of North America. No pit stops, no quarter. The world watches and knows this is how racing should be.
We are back live at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. Coverage on SCCA.com of the SCCA National Championship Runoffs here in 2014. With Randy Pope, Steinbrück Benjamin, Hayward Wagner has our coverage down on pit road. Taking a look at the 67 car, Formula 500 on the racetrack. Working lap 11 of 20, the 67. Jack Walbrand, your 6th place runner out of St. Louis, Missouri. He is under attack. Well, he's gotten around the 28 car. He's gotten around spiraling. So Walbrand, after they crossed the stripe, has moved into the top 5 in that red machine.
That's a good effort for him. It's coming later in the race, and again, we've seen how these cars change as the race goes on, depending on tire pressure choice, maybe the tire brand, etc. And I understand that these 600cc cars with the 4-stroke engine, they're significantly heavier, and they've had a little trouble finding a tire that can take the load. They've been looking for something that can support all that weight, and it causes it's a load on the tires. It's a heavier car, so it's harder on the tire. These 2-strokes, having been run longer, have a tire better suited to them.
In the final corner, the 67 car, Walbrand, now your 5th place runner. Spiraling's going to try him, going to come right back at him here, see if he can get a toe up the front stretch. Perhaps make a move. He's just a little bit too far back. Couldn't quite close in enough to try to use the draft as they arrow into turn 2 here at Mazda Raceway, Laguna Seca. So move Walbrand into the top 5. Your top 4 remain the same. It's been an unchallenged situation out front for Brian Novak, who's now 4.1 seconds in front of Wiley McMahon in the 36. First and second. Jeff Jorgensen third, another 10 seconds behind your 2nd place car, and then Stewart in the 77 fourth. So 3rd and 4th within hailing distance of one another, about a 2-second split there. And then you've got, about a 40-second gap between 4th and the 5th place battle as we check back in with the 73 car of Novak, who is all alone out in front, pretty much unchallenged since the drop of the green.
Impressive entry speed into turn 2, coming over that hill. Novak has got that car hooked up, and it's impressive later in the race that he's still running so well. And again, I think the 2-strokes benefit from their longer development. The 4-strokes still very new to this class.
Yeah.
But McMahon is keeping him honest. He's back there waiting for anything to go wrong, pretty much. And one of the factors in a long run with an F500 chassis is you have those rubber dampers.
Yeah.
They can get heated up, and the handling can change later in a race. It's something else that you're working with in this class.
Well, as Hayward outlined for us at the top of the broadcast, those little discs that are used in the push rod suspension of these cars, and he talked about how development work goes on to try to find the right material or the right combination of materials to kind of keep that constant over the course of a race. I mean, how challenging would that be if you're an engineer to say, okay, we need a material that will act as a damper in a disc form in one of these cars and retain all of its characteristics for a 40-mile race, 20-lap, 45-mile race.
I had a good look at one of the shock absorber units that they use. It's not hydraulic. They put one of those rubber discs into a cup, and then there's a plunger it's shaped like a rounded pyramid, pushes down into it.
Huh.
Make it progressive.
Kind of like a cone.
A cone.
Yeah.
And you can change the
I was
shape
trying to think
of
we
those.
said rounded pyramid. I was thinking, okay, hope that's a cone. I don't
Thank you,
I don't
Rick.
want to put words in your mouth there, but there you go.
Please do. I need all the words in my mouth I can get. And the shapes of those plungers affect the damping.
Yeah.
So you can do a dyno and measure the change in the
So
spring
there's
rate.
a shock dyno for this.
Yes, yes. It just costs way less. And a lot of times it's trial and error.
Yeah.
You try a different shape, stick it in, drive the car, see how it feels. Because these cars are inexpensive to drive.
Yeah, your per mile cost not very high on one of these.
Right.
There's McMahon on the 36, your second place car. That's one of the Suzukis. That's the fastest Suzuki in the place. And we've talked about the difference between the Rotax and the 4-cylinder motorcycle engine, 600cc engine. Now, other manufacturers taking a look at this category. My friends at Honda and HPD, they're looking very seriously at developing an engine combination for this class.
Excellent, because they have a great one. Whoa, too
McMahon
wide.
getting by a lapped car. Nice move.
Watch him, look at him
Throwing
drifting
that thing
car.
into the corkscrew there. How brave is that?
Yeah, and that's kind of how you have to drive
Whoa.
that live axle.
Sideways out of that corner as well, heading toward 9, 10, and 11.
Looks like fun.
Yeah, yes, it does.
He's hauling the mail, and you kind of need to do that to free up the, well, there's no differential, so you want that inside wheel to be lightened up. He's doing that on purpose. It's part of the fun of driving one of these cars.
McMahon can see the leader, Novak, up ahead as he crossed under the bridge and heads up toward 1 and then 2, the Andretti hairpin.
I like this guy. He's fun to watch.
Yeah, he's not afraid to throw it around, that's for sure.
And it's cool to have a car that's quick when it's thrown around. Sometimes watching a race can get a little boring because the cars have to stay so hooked up, right?
Yeah.
And these cars need to be unglued to go fast. Like we're seeing from the second place runner here, Wiley McMahon, my neighbor from Covington, Georgia.
There you go, and the Metalloid 36. What a nice job. Really like the way he is letting it all hang out. Meantime, you've got to take your hat off to Brian Novak, because when you are laying down consistent laps the way he is, ran a 1:35.6 last time around. McMahon actually a little quicker by about half a second, has closed the gap down to 3.8 seconds. Some of that is traffic dependent, but think about this, McMahon did that while lapping that car going into the corkscrew. And I would think if you're going to plan to pass somebody, that's not where you want to do it.
No, they were too wide, and he was rolling it sideways through there. They got pretty close and definitely had to alter his line to make that work.
McMahon out of the corkscrew, putting on quite a show for the fans here at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca.
Checking out the fastest lap times, McMahon is only 0.3 of a second off Novak.
Check in on the fight for 5th. We saw the 67 of Jack Walbrand from St. Louis take that spot away from Lance Spirling a couple of laps back, and he has pulled away just a tad bit now, about 1.5 seconds over Spirling, the gap between 5th and 6th. Walbrand in the red machine, Spirling's black card. Spirling sideways out of 2 there. That is not how you gain ground on the car you're chasing.
No, but it makes for a good TV, doesn't it?
It can.
Throw it in
certainly
there,
do
boys.
that. 5 laps to go for the leaders. That time by 5 to go. Working on lap 16 of 20 here at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca.
Good running little cars.
Yeah.
Again, I'm going to jinx them, aren't I? But we haven't seen the kind of mechanical troubles we did in that 800 horsepower class. And reliability is part of the reason why this is a cool place to run. They just go and go.
Absolutely true. Up the hill towards 6. No worries, evidently, about sound levels from these cars. Nobody dodging to the left to avoid the sound metering equipment that's in place here at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca.
Good point, because they're making plenty of sound.
You'd think so.
Just doesn't generate the pressure, perhaps.
It's a higher pitch sound, which I'm guessing might have something to do with that. Not being an audio engineer, just a guess, but that would seem to make some sense.
Walburn and Spearing here battling at a pace of around 140, whereas the leaders are in the 135s. So we've got a pretty good gap in speed, but no gap in the competition.
Not at all. Not at all. Top 2 cars separated by 3.5 seconds. Another 14 or so seconds back to the third place car, who has got just about a second's worth of advantage over 4th, and a change for position. Calvin Stewart had been chopping into Jeff Jorgensen's lead for 3rd, and now Stewart has taken advantage of that. So Calvin Stewart in the 77, one of the other Suzukis, second fastest among the Suzuki motorcycle engine cars, 3rd overall. So maybe, Randy Popes, we're seeing a sea change in Formula 500 right here in these runoffs.
It could be. They sure sound great. See if we can hear them coming off that last corner.
It's the 84 car of Jorgensen. One of the, watching Jorgensen's car, now he's got a whole different approach to this. Don't know about the relative ages of these chassis, but Jorgensen's car, just from the look of it, one of the least aerodynamic cars out here, but still a top 5 runner.
It's got open wheels, and it's working.
Yeah.
Whereas that Stewart car, it's smooth.
And Stewart goes high into, and Jorgensen pounces.
Oh, gets greedy in the brake zone and can't get it.
Stewart back at him. Good fight for third here at the runoffs.
Gonna leave him room?
Wow.
Yep.
Stewart and Jorgensen. Stewart took the spot lap ago. Jorgensen came right back at him and got by briefly in 2. Jorgensen not giving up by any means.
Only takes a moment's mistake.
Up alongside again as they approach 5.
Stewart protecting with that inside line, making it hard to pass.
Working lap 17. There'll be 3 to go next time by. Second place car long gone, about 16 seconds ahead of these 2. So this is the fight. The car immediately ahead would be a lapped car. Here comes Jorgensen once again, heading to the corkscrew. Now the lap car could be a factor here.
I think it's going to be a factor for this podium spot late in the race. 2 totally different setups. That 4-stroke motorcycle engine. Wow.
Jorgensen took a look to the outside.
He's setting up
trying
a run
to get a
through
run.
9. Yes, sir.
Into the right-hander. Jorgensen up alongside. He is getting through that part of the racetrack beautifully.
He is. He's handling better right now.
Lap car may be a factor here on the front stretch. We'll see. Jorgensen will try to turn inside of the 77. Some speculation, perhaps, that Stewart may have burned the tires off of his car.
Yeah, it looks like his handling is going off a little bit. It could be that issue where the heavier, higher center of gravity has taken more out of his tires. We've been green the whole race. Right down the inside protecting.
Jorgensen, though, will try the outside in move. That's where he got alongside Stewart on the last lap. Can't do it this time.
Yeah, it looks like maybe the fronts are giving him some trouble. He can't get the car to turn back down in the middle of turn 2. That's a challenge down there. It's a slow corner, it's a long corner, and a decreasing radius. Unlike 5, where we're headed now, which is an increasing radius.
It would seem to me, Randy Phillips, never having driven one of these cars, if your rear grip is starting to go away, you're going to slide. That's not fun. But if the front grip is gone and you can't turn in, then you got a problem.
That's correct. You just have to slow down more. Who wants to do that?
Yeah.
But you can tell that, let's see, Stewart there he's worried.
Yeah.
He's going down the inside of the corners. He's protecting. He knows that his car is not what it used to be. We can see it just in his body language, by where he's putting the car on track, by how he ran wide on the entry to the corkscrew there. He's hanging on, though. He's hanging on.
Stewart and Jorgensen, good battle for third. Of course, this is for the 3rd step on the podium, and the bronze medal, very critical. If you're a competitor in these SCCA National Championship runoffs, getting on the podium is everything. Obviously, winning is your first concern if you can do that. Failing that, you certainly want to be in the top 3. And right here, you've got that fight for the 3rd spot.
Wow, look at Jorgensen.
Right up behind the 77. Now, the draft is in play here, I would think.
Oh, yeah, it is. And that'll help that open wheel car.
Takes a look to the inside, does Jorgensen. He'll go high going into 2 here. See if he can sneak inside the 77. Well, they both kind of wash up high in the middle of the corner that time.
Yep, doesn't look like Jorgensen has the setup for 2, but he sure looks good coming down the hill and through 11.
Calvin Stewart protecting in that white 77, your 3rd place runner, the 19, about to go a lap down to these leaders. That's Fred Edwards running 8th in that Suzuki-powered machine, a Maverick chassis out of Sturgis, Michigan. One of the older chassis in the field as well. Again, the higher seating position for the driver. No front wing on that car, not unlike Jorgensen's car.
It's going to be a problem up here at turn 6. I think these guys are going to catch him soon.
18 laps in the books. The field seeing the 2 to go last time by. White flag will be in the air for the leaders as they come around this time.
Oh, we got a point by. Looks like we got some serious cooperation.
8th place car of Edwards waving Stewart past, but Jorgensen held up by him now.
Tell you what, Edwards not looking that bad for being lapped.
No.
Wonder if he had a mechanical issue that got him in trouble there.
Calvin Stewart continuing to run 3rd as they charge toward the white flag here at Mazda Raceway, Laguna Seca.
Stewart's doing a good job of squeezing some more speed out of that car.
Yeah. White flag in the air. Race leader led all the way in the 73, Brian Novak. And a Dearborn, Michigan, in that Rotax-powered Nova car.
And Wiley McMahon drifting it to the dirt. He's going for it. He's trying.
McMahon has chopped the lead down to 2.9 seconds with 1 lap to go, but all Novak has to do is protect. Meantime, for third, Stewart way high again, and Jorgensen goes by him on the last lap.
Turn 2 is a bugaboo for the Stewart car.
See what happens here. Can Jorgensen hang on over the last several turns here at Mile? And Stewart really loose coming out of there.
All over the road. His
coming
tires are toast.
Yeah. Jorgensen taking advantage. Looks like he may be able to get that final podium position in the 84.
The lighter 2-stroke. But then Stewart has been very good up the hill to the corkscrew.
Closing in on the 121 to put him another lap down. That's the seventh place car, Ryan Barth.
This can be a factor.
Novak and McMahon all alone as your top two, and not much of a fight between those two, about 3 seconds the distance. Meantime, this is for third, the final step on the podium.
Yeah, look at that.
Jorgensen and Stewart.
Miles an hour off
Jorgensen
of him.
and Stewart with better speed. Jorgensen trying to close the gap and keep him where he wants him. They are side by side on the corkscrew. Now, Jorgensen's been great down the hill. And he gets a nice run. We'll see what Stewart can do.
Sticks it down the inside.
Looks like Stewart locked up the brakes there. Jorgensen by a whisker.
Whisker is right. They were right next to each other.
Jeff Jorgensen heading to 11 now in the final run up the front stretch for third place. Stewart to the inside.
The desperation dive
takes
bomb.
Third back, and Stewart hang on, or does Jorgensen turns inside? Little contact there.
A little nip of the front bumper, and
Jorgensen's going to get the job done, Randy.
What a battle. That was great.
Jeff Jorgensen takes home third in front of Calvin Stewart to get the final spot in the podium. Jeff Jorgensen wins the GoPro hero move of the race.
Man, they ought to come up with a couple more GoPros.
For taking over third, and your national champion is Brian Novak, Tire Rack Pole Award winner. Goes flag to flag in Formula 500. Brian Novak will win the gold medal in Formula 500. A big thumbs up from Novak to the corner workers as he goes around on his cool-down lap, and we will talk to the top three momentarily. Nice drive for Brian Novak. Wiley McMahon evidently had a problem. He finishes 16 seconds behind, and the gap was less than 3.
He was trying too hard. But you know what? I think Jorgensen and Stewart should get 2 or 3 GoPros each, because there were like 4 hero moves each all the way down that hill. What a great finish.
Give Calvin Stewart a lot of credit for coming back like that with his grip apparently just about completely gone, to run side by side down the hill through the corkscrew like that and have a shot at third.
Yeah, he was dealing with a little bit of a wounded car, and Jorgensen, well, you know what, Stewart, brave dive bomb, desperation dive bomb in 11. He committed and went all the way past Jorgensen. Jorgensen stuck it back underneath him. They had a little rub on the way off the corner, and it was just a great show.
So there's Calvin Stewart, who's got to be frustrated. He comes home fourth. A top 5 finish. You can see the rear diffuser kind of bouncing around there. That's evidently one of the problems he faced. Obviously, the contact with Jorgensen in turn 11 as they went inside out, swapping that third position.
It's
Jorgensen
the runoffs,
taking the measure. Yeah, you let it all hang out. No reason to hold back now.
Get him on the podium.
End of the season, getting ready for 2015 competition. Novak with the visor up, unbuckling and loosening the Hans device and the straps. He will climb out of that race car.
What a nice job from this driver and his team.
Absolutely.
Just made it look easy, but you know what? It is not.
No, not at all.
The work before you get here is monumental, and then the work on track to put together a clean race like that, well done.
Brian Novak is your champion. Hayward Wagner set to talk to our winner.
Brian Novak, our winner, and here in Formula 500. 3-time national champion now in the class. You got a great start. What happened next?
Oh, it was just a matter of figuring the car out. This is only the second long run we've had on this car. This car was brand new, rebuilt before the last race of the season, and it was just a matter of hanging on, really. We missed the setup a little bit. The car went really pushy near the end, and just had to keep my head down and not make any mistakes, and pulled it off, man. The car was the great... A huge thanks to Brad Hewlings and HRP Motorsports for building the best motor and the best clutches in the country, because sure makes it easy to drive a car when if it doesn't handle right, if it's got motor. So
it looked like towards the end, McMahon was able to make a little bit of ground up on you. Did you see him? Did you respond?
Yeah, I saw him coming. I lost probably a little too much time being a little tentative in traffic, just being a little overall tentative with the car because I just didn't want to make a mistake, and he caught me a couple more seconds than I wanted him to, and just tried to put my head down and do the best I can to keep going. The car was really pushy in the Andretti hairpin, so I just put my head down and made sure I didn't let it push that hard. So.
Well, a big congratulations to you on another national championship, gold medal going around the neck. We're going to give Brian a checkered flag and let him take one more lap around Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. We're working on getting second and third place drivers out of the car. We're going to skip McMahon and go to Jeff Jorgensen. Jeff Jorgensen, kind of the star of the race, that last couple of laps with Calvin Stewart. What a battle.
Yeah, Calvin's great. I've been racing with him for 13 years, and yeah, we both wanted third. We wanted it bad, and we both wanted the same part of the track, too.
Now, the pass on Calvert Stewart, the GoPro hero move of the race, can you talk me through that pass?
Which one?
The final one.
Final one? Well, you know, I took the defensive line into 11 last lap. You do that. He went inside of me. I knew he was going to overshoot, so I cut back inside and hope I left enough room. It looked like he did have enough room. We touched, and fortunately, I beat the motorcycle car up the straight. You know, it's been a 2-stroke, 4-stroke battle all week.
Talking about that battle, when you are in a close battle with a car, similar chassis but different edges, what kind of a challenge does that present?
Well, it was the first chance I've really had to run up close with these guys. It's been great. It seemed pretty even, and you know, I had nothing for Clint or Brian. They just took off, but we seem pretty even, and they're just faster in different parts of the track. It's a lot of fun.
Well, congratulations on the bronze medal here in Formula 500. We're going to step back one car to the banana boat. Clint McMahon. Clint bringing home a second place silver medal here at the Runoffs Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. Quite a haul from Georgia. Talk to me about your drive.
Well, we were struggling all weekend with the car setup and everything. Laguna Seca does not act like any other track out there. And of course, we came into it a little bit under power with the new restrictors that SCCA so blessed us with. Along with that, it wasn't a very good weekend. I was very, very fortunate to come out the way that I did. About the second lap in, my right front suspension broke somewhere. I don't know where it broke at, but the car is setting about 15 degrees right angle right front. So I did about everything that I could. I didn't have anything left out there on the table, and I wasn't close enough to pressure Brian. It's unfortunate because Brian and I, we've raced in the 600 challenge all season long, and we were really, really close. And then we get here, and he gets a little bit of 2-stroke power up, and underneath him, that's what takes the win, I guess.
Guys up in the booth talked a lot about your driving style. You're there to the very end, just hanging the tail out on the car. What kind of a mentality do you have when you know you've got a guy out in front of you, you're not sure if you can catch him? What keeps you going?
What keeps me going is just balls out. Everything that you can do, every corner. You know, if you leave something hanging out there, it's a long haul back to Georgia, and you're questioning yourself every single time that you think about every turn out there. Could you have done something? Could you have not? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to lay it all out, and that's going to be it.
All right, well, I've spent a lot of years watching Clint drive these cars. I have never seen him leave anything on the table. A little disappointing, but still a silver second place podium finish here at the SCCA National Championship Runoffs for Clint McMahon. Guys upstairs?
All right, congratulations to Wiley, who goes by Clint on the racetrack. Second spot behind Brian Novak, and then Jeff Jorgensen finishing third in that 84 car after that great battle with Calvin Stewart, who I'm sure has to be very frustrated. Here comes Brian Novak with the checkered flag headed back in. The podium ceremonies will get going here shortly.
Steering with his knee, two hands on the flag. I'll tell you what there, old McMahon, he's a serious competitor. He wanted to win this race.
Yes, he did.
And beat everybody but one guy.
Yeah.
And it looked like that Novak just had the package. You know, it's a team setup, car, driver combination.
All right, your top 10 in Formula 500. Novak, your winner. McMahon and Jorgensen, the rest of the podium. Stewart has to settle for fourth. Jack Walbrand with a nice battle. Lance Spirling there. They fought for fifth and sixth. Walbrand prevails in the red machine. Spirling is sixth in front of Barth and Edwards, Jeremy Morales, and Herb Noble. The rest of your top 10 in Formula 500. Thomas Edwards ran just 9 laps in the 20 car, had a problem. He is 11th as the top 3 congratulate one another here at Mazda Raceway, Laguna Seca. All right, next up for us, we'll have a lunch break, and we'll take some time away from our coverage here at Mazda Raceway, Laguna Seca. We will come back this afternoon. Should be a green flag around 1:30 or so Pacific time for Spec Racer Ford, followed by Formula B. Greg and Jeff Lepper will have the call there, and Randy and I will be back for H Production around 3:30 Pacific time this afternoon, and then Formula A, Formula Atlantic to wrap things up in the 2014 SCCA National Championship Runoffs. Randy Popes, we saw some great driving in Formula 500, didn't we?
You know, it's watching these hugs and handshakes and all, that's just a beautiful thing. Winning is good, even from the second place guy. That's camaraderie, and that's SCCA club racing, and that's the kind of thing that I enjoy so much about these events.
Absolutely. All right, lunchtime for us here on the West Coast. Take a break. We'll be back with more of our coverage of the 2014 SCCA National Championship Runoffs live on SCCA.com at Mazda Raceway, Laguna Seca. For Randy Popes, Hayward Wagner, I'm Rick Benjamin, congratulating your winner, Brian Novak. We will be back later this afternoon.
The 2014 SCCA National Championship Runoffs are being brought to you in HD by Mazda. Conviction, creativity, courage. This is the Mazda way. And by Hankook, driving emotion.
Some people go to enormous lengths in the name of safety, like the inventor of the flame-resistant racing suit, Bill Simpson. Courageous engineering is also the Mazda way, and why the 2014 Mazda 3 has an available class-exclusive suite of 8 safety features and a top safety rating. Because when it comes to safety, you can never go too far. This is the 2014 Mazda 3. What do you drive?
This is Kenny. Kenny is a dentist, but he races autocross on the weekends. But he's not thinking about his tires right now. Kenny buys all his tires from TireRack.com. Using their exclusive test track reviews, he knows he's always getting the right tires for his car. But Kenny's not thinking about tires right now. Kenny's thinking, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. This is awesome. TireRack.com, proud sponsor of the Tire Rack SCCA National Solo Program.
The machines and their manufacturers span the planet. This is no spec series. Diversity breeds excellence and brings battle. Ride with the best and test the iconic circuits of North America. No pit stops, no quarter. The world watches and knows this is how racing should be.